Okay. Now I think we should be good. Now everybody knows what they're going to be getting into when they come to the channel tonight. Some new things from yesterday that I have done. I've moved the camera up to the upper right hand corner, so everybody let me know what you think about that. I think it's going to be in a better spot. You guys can now, you'll be able to see the phases as they pass through the term, so you're, just as informed as I am as to where we are in the turns. I've also added a sub or a follower goal. I don't have any subs yet. I don't even think I can have subs yet. I don't know. Maybe I can. Nobody's subbed to me yet, though. That's fine. I've got 3 followers so far, and I decided to make the sub goal 6. I figured, each time through, I've just iterate one additional sub. So started out wanting 1 sub, and then I want 2 more, or wanted 2 more. I got those. So now we're trying for 3 more subs to meet our goal, and then we'll move on and try for 4 next time for a total of 10. So we'll just hopefully keep growing the community. I did also move the chat down here. The chat was in the upper right hand corner, so I've moved it down here. Haven't seen what that looks like yet on the stream, but I think it should be fine. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and jump into our midweek magic. Yesterday we took a look at all 5 of the brawl lists that were available, and we decided that the best deck was probably the Sorin deck, but the deck we were going to play was going to be the old Stick Fingers deck because it looked fun. And we decided we were going to stay very far away from the Tiny Bones deck. It looked pretty awful. And the Oko deck was kind of on the same level. It kind of had, I feel like, some of the same weaknesses as the Tiny Bones deck, just not as bad. And then the Hoffrey deck seemed like probably the most aggressive, just get them dead. I want my 2 free cards and I want to go on to something else. So I'm going to try the old Stick Fingers deck. It looked really fun. It pushed a lot of my buttons. It's very all in, kind of into its theme. I tend to do that a lot in the commander decks that I build. I pick a theme that I want to do and I kind of lean into that very, very much. So I'm not one of those that builds a deck with a lot of middling cards or just well-rounded cards normally when I build decks. Now I play decks like that. The mono green deck is like that, and I enjoy playing it. But if I'm going to build a deck, I'm probably going to lean into a strategy pretty hard and see how much I can push it. The old Stick Fingers deck, if you haven't seen it, it is all creatures. Every single card that's not a land is a creature. And while that obviously plays well with the old Stick Fingers, you do lose out on some fun strategies, I'm sure, of non-land cards that would make the deck better. But it does allow you a lot of, consistency. You always know you're going to mill, as many creatures with Stick Fingers. You always know you're going to have some things that you dump in the yard you can get back. You're going to have some enablers. And the other thing that it allows you to do is play the Amori, the Collector, as a companion. And I'm kind of interested in that. We have for all intents and purposes, a commander. I've never played Brawl on Arena, so I might be in for a surprise, but it's my understanding that it's pretty much just commander, but on Arena. So that's how I intend to play it. We'll find out very soon if that's not the case. But and then so once we've got our commander off to the side there, we also get the additional benefit of having another card off to the side. So yeah, that's what we're going to play with today. I do not know what every single card in this deck does, and it would take me the entire stream to look at each card in detail and kind of review it. I went through last night and I said, okay, there are cards that mill themselves and do things out of the graveyard. There are cards that return cards out of the graveyard. That's fine. There are other cards that mill. I kind of understand what the deck is trying to do, and I figured reading the cards that I don't know when they come up in my hand or on the board will be a lot faster than trying to read and understand the whole deck before jumping in. So just kind of keep that in mind and know that we're probably not going to play to some of our outs because we don't know what the cards even do, even if we know if they're in the deck. But yeah, we're still going to have fun with it. And I think that's kind of the point of these things, right? I'm not trying to, win more than the 2 games with this deck, and I don't mind losing some in the process. So we're just going to try and have fun and see how it goes. And if we decide we're not having fun, like I said, the backup plan is the Boros equipment, the Spirity, get them dead, ghost Ghost Fire, Ghost Flame, whatever his name is. All right. And that's the other thing I like. I know it's a small thing, but I like you guys to be able to see the name of the opponent on that first screen where the avatars are kind of facing off with one another. So you couldn't do that as well when my face was in the way. I do like these lands. I'm torn because I've said that I don't really like the cosmetics, or at least I won't be purchasing any until I have a complete collection, if that's even a thing that I ever do. But if I do not have a complete collection, I can guarantee that I'm not going to buy, any, or at least very few of the cosmetics. However, I will say, you have basic lands in almost every deck you play, and I am kind of interested in possibly getting some basic lands. So let me know in chat, what is your favorite cosmetic land set that you can purchase? I like these, and I know they're available right now. I kind of also like I believe they're the Theros Beyond Death, just the ones that have the mana icon kind of front and center on the land. It makes it very visible, especially on the mobile client. Very much so that that's a basic land, and you don't have to check for the art. But anyways, I should probably just see what we got going on here. I'm just going to keep this hand. I don't want to waste any more of opponent's time, quite honestly. I spent most of that time running my mouth. So we'll just kind of figure this out. I know what Ravenous Chupacabra does. I kind of know what Egon does. We'll play this, and then I don't have any one-drops, so I'm just going to play this tapped. Oh, this is a fast land. Oh my god. Well, we did right then. I just assumed it was one of the lands we had. Oh, I can play this as a one-drop. The beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. Oh yeah, we're just going to play this as a one-drop. That's fine. We just want to mill cards. Good. We have drops. I'm glad this was a fast land then. See, we're playing properly already. Okay. So we don't have a 2-drop. We're not interested in playing Sticky Fingers for 0. I can't imagine. No, because we milled a land. So he wouldn't survive no matter what. So, yep, okay. Okay, that's a very good card. Wow, that's a very good card. Okay. Yeah, very aggressive start for opponent. This could be the black. Hey, how are you, Perry? Nice to see you in chat. Welcome to the stream. We are playing some Brawl tonight before we get into some standard events. So this is my first time playing Brawl, so I'm kind of learning the cards as we go. Have you done the midweek event this week, Perry? Oh, what can I do here? I can reinforce. I can reinforce one of his creatures. Y'all let me know if you think that's a positive EV play. Arena made sure that I knew I had the option to reinforce his creature. Good. I'm glad that I knew that I could do that, Arena. Thank you. Milled some lands. That's good. I would like to hit some more lands at some point, but we're just going to play this Visionary and draw a card. I think that's probably the play. Just now downloading and getting into Magic. Oh, okay. Sweet. So what brought you to the world of Magic? How did you, get exposed to it, and what made you decide to go ahead and take the plunge and jump in and download Arena? I've been playing Magic for a long time, off and on. I played when I was quite young. I started playing in middle school, and but I have just downloaded MTG Arena in the past month. So I'm kind of old and new at the same time. But yeah, interested to hear kind of how you got here. Okay, so he dumped a 5-drop into play. Great. This is going well. We're having fun still, though, I think. We got a 4th land drop. We could certainly mill with Sticky Fingers. He did not attack, which is interesting. This thing is kind of a beating. Just, I eat something, but all his duders grow. Yeah, we're just interested in Chupacabra and the 5-drop, I think. So that's fun. And unfortunately, I obviously couldn't attack into the 4/4, but it sucks that his team now grows and I can't pressure Sorin with my 2/2, but that's just okay. We're just doing what we can here. So he can't minus again for another couple turns, but he can start going up. He can honestly kill his own stuff to grow the rest of his stuff and just start beating in and killing my blockers. I mean, he's got no bad options here, right? Best friend actually played a little bit in college, but didn't really put a whole lot of resources into it. Now that's it's mostly online. I feel like I'm ready to put some time in the game. Right on, right on. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, swinging with a 3/4. What's this guy do? Okay, all right. So he grows himself. Fair enough. Fair enough. He also is a changeling. Hey, Perry the Well. Well, thank you, sir, for the follow. I appreciate that. One step closer to our goal tonight. I honestly could just double block this. It does grow the rest of his stuff, but I think that I'm happy with that. I want stuff in the graveyard anyways. It's my understanding of playing this deck. Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss something? I guess I missed something. I'm assuming I missed something. Oh, did he give it Death Touch? He gave it Death Touch. Goodness gracious. Okay, well, we did not see that, quite honestly, but that's okay. Can't kick this yet. Would be interested in drawing a land, so I think the Ranger is the play here. I'm pretty sure exploring, if it's a land, I put it in my hand, right? Yes, okay, so we're pretty interested in Ranger in here to start off with, and then we'll kind of see where we go from there. Oh, that's going to the graveyard. I don't know what it does, but it's not a land. That's also not a land, so, It does draw me a land next turn, but I don't think I'm interested in that either. I think it's just going to the yard. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, he is just getting the beats, man. I'll tell you what. And we said this at the beginning of the stream. We thought that the Sorin deck was probably the best of the bunch in terms of just being a good deck to play. I don't think I can obviously block here, so we won't. Simple as that. Okay, we milled our 7-drop, so that's good. We still don't draw another land. This thing doesn't fight until we enrage, is that right? Oh, no. Okay, this is other Polychronos. I guess I'm thinking of either a different card or a different Polychronos. I don't know. It's so hard to keep up. Okay, so he's not really doing me a lot of good right now. Is there anything that's doing me a lot of good right now? I don't think so. I think we're pretty much just getting beat down. I am interested in milling some cards and gaining some life and giving it one more turn until we play Stick Fingers. He's only a 7/7 right now. I'd prefer to get him, up to a 10/10, so maybe I can just start blocking some of this stuff that we got here. Okay, well, I can't do that this turn, so am I attacking? No, definitely not. So I guess we're just passing. Well, we can safely say that we're not doing well this game. So I think I do have to chump here. The reason being, even if next turn Stick Fingers can eat this thing, and he probably won't quote-unquote eat it because he'll either give it Death Touch or he'll sacrifice one of his things and deal 3 damage post-combat to my thing. So I think I'm at least trading with this. But if I take it this turn and go down to 7, I feel like he's just going to be able to swarm around me anyways. So I think I am interested in blocking here. I'm hoping that I find some way to put multiple creatures into play. Oh, I guess he has Menace as well. I'm not interested in blocking with both of my things, so I guess I'm not blocking. So we're going to 7. Oh, well, this comes into play tap, so that's not going to help out for this turn. I think we are interested, since we don't have another play. I guess we could play the Null Priest. Yeah, this is fine. We'll just play the Null Priest as well. We're not doing great. Should I do this instead? Oh, well, okay. Why did that show up as only 2 mana for a second? That's interesting. Why is that 2 mana right now? I don't know. I have no idea. That's okay. Huh, that's really weird. I guess that's a visual bug of some nature. I don't know. Okay. I would love. Well, I think I have to swing into the Sorin. I would like to swing into the Sorin. I think we're going to. I think we're going to swing into this one. I'm not sure. I haven't done the math. We might be dead next turn. If this was, a game of standard or something where something was on the line, I guess I would do the maths. But, ooh, what is this? I don't know. It's a flyer. Okay, that's what we know. So, he gave it Death Touch and Lifelink. I think I am just interested in blocking and trading off. Okay, well, we killed the biggest thing, so that's good. What is this? Move your commander to the command zone. Yes, I would like to do it. So, okay, so it even refers to it as the command zone. So, oh, he played a Blood Artist. I missed that somewhere along the line. So, he gets all his stuff bigger, and we take 3 damages. Yeah, we're very, very dead. We can gain a little bit of life, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to tell the opponent GG's and move on to the next one. He said hello. That's cute. So Perry, how long ago was it that you were in college when you played the little bit that you have? Was it somewhat recently? Was that a while ago? How long has it been since you played a game of Magic? Presumably, it's been a while since you say now it's mostly online, implying that it probably wasn't when you were in college. But I do know, even it's been online, quote unquote, for quite a long time. Like the MTGO client has been around for quite some time, but the Arena client is pretty new, so just depends on what you mean, I reckon. We're going to try one more Sticky Fingers. I still enjoyed the deck. It was very cogsy feeling. It felt like we got a little bit slow off the ground, and the Sorin deck just came roaring out of the gates. We're going to see if that happens again. If it does, we might just switch over to the red-white deck. Or honestly, I mean, that Sorin deck seemed like it could be pretty aggressive and just get the games 1-2. So, okay, this looks better. We've got acceleration, but we also have a 2-drop. We have 2-2-drops, and okay, we do need to hit a 3rd land to actually get to 4 mana total to, well, I mean, not really do anything. We have some early plays, and then we don't have anything till 5. We do have a very powerful 5-drop. I think we're definitely going to keep. We do have things to do with our mana. If we at least hit a 3rd land, we can play a sad, poor 1/1 Sticky Fingers. Stick Fingers, not Sticky Fingers. I don't know. I feel like he might just be Sticky Fingers now. There was a restaurant. I used to live in a town that had a restaurant called Sticky Fingers, and I don't know, I'll be quite honest with you, I don't know if it was a restaurant chain or if it was just a local joint that's name was Sticky Fingers. So if you had a restaurant in your town called Sticky Fingers, or if you know if Sticky Fingers was a chain, let me know in chat if you're here on Twitch, or in a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Alright, so he's playing the blue-green Rampy deck, but I'm the one with the Llanowar Elf, so feeling good, feeling good. Small victories, I think Perry might have left us, but that's okay, He's probably checking out his options on who he can watch to start out his life with Arena, now that he's downloading the client. He gave us a follow, so I hope he finds his way back one day. So we don't have a 3-drop, so our options are play a 2-drop and attack for 1, or just go ahead and get Yamori into hand. And I'm kind of interested in that, because if we draw a land next turn, we can play a 4/5, and we can make all our other stuff cheaper. So I don't think the 1 damage is all that important, and I think the upside of just getting this into hand is pretty good. So we're going to do that. So the ramp deck is decidedly not ramping. But I guess 3 is the spot in the curve where I saw the most acceleration. So maybe he's going to play a ramp spell here. And that's probably what that is. Let's find out together. You might already know, but I have to find out, so you have to watch me find out. If one or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature you control twice. Okay, so it's like a doubling kind of effect, but for tokens. Got it. It's like a super snake, right? The Winding Constrictor, put an extra one on it. This just says, nah, man, just do both. Do twice. Do all of them. We did hit the land, so we do get to play the 4/5, and that means once we name creature, that regardless of whether we hit a land, we get to play our Gargaroth next turn. And unfortunately, he's got like every keyword but haste. Now, granted, he would be completely ridiculous with haste, but we still get to start beating down. We beat down for 4 next turn, plus play a 6/6 that accrues value. So yeah, things are looking okay. I don't know what that is, but I know it's a saga. So let's see. He gets a Deuter. Then he gets to make his Deuter big. Got it. Oh, it's got 4 chapters. I didn't know that there were sagas with 4 chapters. Interesting. Okay. What do I know? If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw 2 cards. So this is the first 3 are very synergetic, and then create a gold token. What is a gold token? Will it not tell me what the gold token is? Oh, that's the wrong card. No wonder it won't tell me. Okay, there we go. Oh, so it's like a treasure, except why is it not just a treasure? I don't understand. I'm very confused. We're gonna attack. I don't know. There we go. We're attacking first. Excellent. Now we get to play Gargaroth plus one of these other things. That's exciting. Or I could have attacked with the Llanowar Elf as well, but I still think we're ramping into stuff. Oh, yeah, should have not allowed that to auto-tap. I guess we can just play the bear though, so that's fine. Okay. He's got a big... Oh, whoa. Oh, combo. It's a combo, boys and girls. All right. He's got a 7/7. Okay. He's probably deciding whether or not he wants to attack. If he attacks, am I interested in double blocking? I don't remember seeing a lot of tricks in the blue-green deck. I'm not saying there couldn't be any, but I think I would probably block. You know, the Gargaroth is... Well, maybe I wouldn't. I remember kind of what that does. It flips into a land, right? Yes. Okay. At the beginning of combat, so since it already had so many counters, it did flip on its own. Target creature gains +X/+X until end of turn, where X is its power. Good God. So, okay. So, I'm literally just chump blocking because I am almost dead if he... he could have given it flying, right? Oh, no, he didn't have enough land or mana this turn. So, okay, maybe I'll just take it this turn and try and produce some flying blockers or something. No, I guess I can't do that. So I can't produce a flying blocker, so I guess I have to chump this turn. Otherwise, I'm just dead next turn. Man, well, that escalated quickly, didn't it? Yeah, we did not anticipate the going from the 1/1 to the 9/9 attacking me the next turn. Especially not being able to give it flying the turn after that. So I don't know that I have time for that. I can't play that because I don't have the triple black. I don't think I'd do it anyways because it doesn't do anything against this 9/9. Yeah, I think this is our best play and just try and hit something better off the top. I could also draw a card first. Honestly, we should do that. Well, no, maybe not, because we do have Coven, so I could see what's on the top, and if I can't play it, use the Gargaroth to clear the top card. So I cannot play that, so now we'll swing with the Gargaroth. So we are going to draw a card here. I would love to, just make a dude and kind of try and swarm around him, but I don't think we have the option to do that. I don't think we have the time to do that. Okay, so this is, we're kind of doing it. We're kind of doing it. Oh, we drew that. I didn't like that we drew that because we were just going to play it off the top. Can I play that thing? I can play that thing, so we should probably do that. This says Death Touch, but it won't be able to block this still. So, yeah, we're really just interested in digging to a removal spell of some nature, so we're just going to play this off the top again. We kind of, that was a good turn, and we get a flying blocker for next turn. So if he can't pump this enough to kill me in one go, then we can swing in for a bunch of damages. We can play a flying blocker to buy ourselves another turn, and hopefully use Augur of Autumn and Gargaroth to, have another big turn. So we will see how it goes. But this is entirely possible that he just can pump this enough to kill me this turn. Did he already draw his 2 cards? Yeah, I guess so. We're in his main phase. Okay, good. Okay, and that puts 2+1+ counters, which will get doubled, so that will make him a 13/13, which will do it. Oh, what just happened? I'm very confused. He made a what? But why? Did he think it was gonna be a 9/9 and not have summoning sickness? I don't know. I think maybe opponent misclicked, I think. Or maybe he's just giving me a chance. He's playing with his food a little bit. I don't know. He might regret that if that's the case. Now I'm interested in blocking, and I think the answer is yes, right? I would happily give off this Gargaroth to get this 9/9 off the board. He's tapped out too. Yeah, that had to have been a mistake, I believe. Oh, I get this when I block too. Man, this card is insane. What do I want to do? Do I want to draw a card or do I want to create a beast? I think I'm interested in trying to create a beast and just getting him dead now, right? Just make the board wide and just get him dead. Just get him dead. We'll play this first, though. It comes into play tap. That's okay, though. Yeah, he's had enough. I think that was just probably maybe a misclick on the Oko, because even if he thought it would have been a 9/9, he had to have known it would not have been able to attack that turn. Yeah, so sorry opponent, but we'll take the win. That we had that one big turn with the Autumn, Augur of Autumn, and the Gargaroth, and we were gonna do it again that next turn too. It looked like we had played the land, and there was a Deuter underneath. It's very easy, it seems like, in this deck to get Coven. You just play enough dudes that, even if they kill some stuff, the cards aren't as individually powerful, so the opponent is not incentivized to kill every small creature. It doesn't look like there was really a lot of mass removal. And, once Coven is turned on, you can get some pretty crazy turns when literally your entire deck is either lands or creatures, and you can at least play one land for free off the top, and then any more creatures are just, acting like a Rangers class. So that was pretty fun. Let's do it again. Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't even read the button. I guess I cleaned my prizes one at a time. I got a Strict Proctor. So a Strixhaven rare, 1/3 flyer for 2. When a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability to trigger, counter that ability unless its controller pays 2. I mean, it's a good hate bear. I don't know what specifically we would target with that in Type 2, which is in Standard, which is probably why it's not seeing any play in any of the white decks that I've seen. But I wonder, chat, do you know, does this card see play in Historic? Are there decks in Historic in which this card hates out? Does I mean, are there Splintery Twin kind of decks? I mean, this obviously would prevent the Splinter Twin combo itself. I know about the infinite mana with the Vizier and the Elf, but that would not be affected by this because it's not a comes into play thing. It's a fun with counters thing. So yeah, what combos does this prevent, if any? Is this a card that sees play in Historic? Either way, it's probably a good one to have as a safety valve. So happy to have a copy. So if we need it, we don't have to spend a wild card on it. We've had quite a few frame drops tonight. I wonder why that is compared to other nights. We have not had any problems, but tonight we're sitting at over 1,000 frames drop. That's not great. It's not moving right now though, so maybe there was a problem earlier that has resolved itself and I just wasn't paying enough attention to see it. It's entirely possible, but we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know what to do about it if if we are dropping frames. I don't know what I would do about that, but I guess I would try and figure it out, do some research. Maybe I'll do some research on it tonight. Anyways, I haven't had a reason to look into it because it hasn't been a problem. Okay, so I can play the double black spell off the command tower. So this is, and then still have the double green for Jade Light Ranger. Command tower doing work. Yeah, we'll keep this. Our opponent is also playing the blue-green ramp deck. And that is a very powerful ultimate if you have a board presence. But then again, is it really that good in this deck? I don't think so because, you know, from what I saw, you're ramping into big stuff. Although that's not really how it played out in the game. Like I did not see some of those counter synergies when I was looking through the deck for the first time. So that was I was not expecting the immediate ramp up to a 9/9 on turn 4 or whatever that was. Okay, gets himself a it's a breeding pool. Excellent, excellent. So he just got this little life linker dude, and next turn we'll get a hopefully just a 3-mana divination that makes a body. I'd be very happy with that. But if that's not the case, we can make a bigger thing that might mill a card or two for old Sticky Fingers. This is a great attacker into the 2/2. Not interested in taking any damages this turn. We might end up taking it next turn, but we might draw a land and find a time to play that tapped. So for now, we're just going to start here. I guess we'll go ahead and attack first and not give him the information. Although, as always in this situation, I mean, there's no way he blocks. There's literally a 0% chance. It really does not matter. I could play the Jade Light Ranger. I could not play the Jade Light Ranger. He's never blocking. So, information in quotation marks. Murderous Rider. Now, see, I don't know that this deck plays a ton of removal, so I am kind of interested in that card in case this guy high rolls me again with some crazy creature that he pumps up a whole bunch. But I think I'm just supposed to bend this to, for the Stick Fingers, to try and draw lands. And same thing with this thing. Like, obviously, I could not mill one, or I could not mill it and then draw it next turn and mill 3, which gets more cards in the graveyard. But I already have a turn 4 play, and I'm interested in getting further into my deck to draw a card next turn that's not this card. So I think this also goes to the graveyard. I would, however, I think trade the Ranger for the Dragon's Guard Elite. It will just get bigger as the game goes on. I'm not really interested in that, and my Jade Light Ranger doesn't have, it's not how I'm winning the game. I can't imagine. They've got that thing too. Well, that's scary. So now this is going to go immediately from a 2/2 to a 4/4 at least. But yeah, this is also a late game mana sink for them, and so I definitely would have traded there, and he agreed with me. He decided not to attack. Well, then again, maybe he just couldn't pump it up either. I don't know. But with this thing, he probably felt the value was high enough. He wasn't going to swing into me. What's this thing do? Oh, so when I get to 6 mana, I can, if he just has one big threat, I can trade it off. That's kind of exciting. I'm pretty sure I am supposed to Polychronos here, so we're going to take a little bit of damage, but I'll once again attack before we decide to do any of that. Good. Getting him dead. We will pay 2 life, so we can play the Polychronos. The other option would have been to put the Umori in hand. But this game, as opposed to the other game, I think we've got, as long as we continue to draw lands. If we don't draw a land next turn, we will obviously have to decide to either put Umori in hand or play the Stick Fingers for 2. Well, for X equals 2, and he would be a 4/4. Or, I mean, if we decide that this is just a large enough threat, say he plays one spell and makes it a 4/4, we could, if he does not choose to attack, we could just fight with the Polychronos. That's interesting plays. I think they're feeling a little bit behind right now. If they had to play this Zagana without another creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, that's, I mean, that they lose a lot of value on what this card does. So, wow, this thing is a beating, isn't it? I mean, it's not very great right now because we only have 4 mana, but I mean, I can imagine this thing going off after a couple of Stick Fingers have seen play. So we didn't draw land, so I guess I am interested in... I'm first going to attack in with these two and see what they do. Actually, I'm going to attack with all 3. This thing has Death Touch too, so... yeah, I'm going to be the aggressor here. I would happily trade my 2/3 for a 4/4. My 2-drop for his 4-drop. He says he takes it all. Okay, so he's going to 5. Now, given that he's taking it all, I think I am interested in making my Polychronos smaller and fighting his Dragon's Guard Elite. But that means I will not be doing anything else this turn. I think that's okay. Yeah. Okay, and he decides that that was enough for him. So after the after the Sorin debacle that was game 1, where he just totally ran roughshod over us, we were able to win the next couple with some pretty synergistic turns. We got through quite a monstrous little token that the blue-green deck produced, and kind of more of the same in the second one. All right, so we didn't even look at our prizes for today, but we did win one. We still are going to come back and re-roll that. I honestly didn't think about re-rolling. We have not done that yet today. Maddening Cacophony. Each opponent mills 8 cards. If the spell was kicked, instead, opponent mills half of their library. Round it up. Okay. What is the set symbol for this? I do not know. Is this in standard right now? We have played one time against a mill deck. The only mill cards I saw were Rune Crab and the Hideous Laughter, whatever, somebody's Hideous Laughter. And it was pretty scary. They got mono green down to, I mean, I believe it was under 10 cards. It was definitely under 15 cards in library. And so, one additional mill spell would have either gotten there if a Hideous Laughter was above average, or possibly even average in my deck. I haven't worked it out. This would not have been enough, but it does seem like a pretty powerful Type 2 mill card. I remember Glimpse the Unthinkable was, and I think still is, in older formats, played in the decks that are interested in milling as a 2 mana for 10 cards mill card. And this is 8, but it has the upside of late in the game taking half the library. The thing I don't like about this, and it's costed very high on the kicker, and it probably has to be, but the problem is, in a dedicated mill deck, your other cards are also milling, so by the time you're kicking this for 6 mana, presumably their library is already very small, meaning that half of that very small library is a very small amount of cards. So in order for this to be any better kicked than not kicked, on turn 6, your opponent has to have more than 16 cards in their library. And if your opponent has more than 16 cards in their library on turn 6, you probably have not been doing your job as the mill deck. So yeah, the kicker on this seems very poor. It seems honestly like flavor text, and a lot of times will be actually worse, an actual decrease in value if I kick this card, as opposed to just playing it for 2 mana. So That seems less than good. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's how it plays out, but that's kind of how it sounds like in my head it would play out. So, all right. Well, either way, that is the midweek magic part of the stream. It was exciting. We spent about a good half an hour playing some Arena Commander and had a lot of fun with it. So, let me ask you guys this. I have spent the better part of my time streaming playing the mono green deck. I will eventually diversify a little bit. I am interested in revisiting the vampire. Nope, not the vampires deck. I will eventually figure that out, that I do not play vampires and I do play werewolves. Um, but eventually, I will revisit the werewolves deck once we see what Crimson Vow has to offer. We had an idea last night of something it was kind of it was just a thought based on a card we saw in one of the commander decks, but basically we saw the card, I believe it's called Crippling Fear, that all creatures get -3/-3 except for a creature type of your choosing. And we talked about how it was, I've seen it played in elves and it has wrecked me some with the mono green deck, and we talked about what other tribes would fit with it. And the idea is that if Red Black Vampires is going to be a deck after Crimson Vow, that it's possible that that deck really wants that card. So I am kind of interested in building that, but that will be contingent upon how good I think it is after seeing spoilers, for one, obviously, but then also card availability after the first few weeks of the format, and I see where I'm at after having draft as much as I have the ability to do at the start of the season. So if that is not the case, and for some reason I either tire of or mono green becomes not as good in the format for some reason or something, and I am struggling with what to play next, I do think I am interested in trying to put together a commander deck or a brawl deck. Um, you know, Obviously the draw would be that with my limited card collection, I wouldn't need to get four ofs. I have one ofs of quite a few, good rares that I do not have the wild cards to spend to make playsets to make a bunch of interesting standard decks. And although I do appreciate and enjoy the amount of time we put into the mono green deck, and I think we've made a lot of headway into understanding that deck better and playing it better than we did on day one, I think there is also a lot to be said for kind of varying up the decks you play and the style of decks you play to give yourself exposure to other play experiences and kind of use those tool sets as well. So, is that something you guys would be interested in? Do you come here because there are other people with that sort of content and you just want to watch people play mono green because everybody else is sick of it? Or hey, Bix Plays, nice to have you here. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. So Bix Plays, since you're in chat and you're talking with us at the moment, what do you think? Did you just find the stream and you're just here because I'm playing Magic and you're kind of in for whatever? Tonight it's going to be some standard, but would you be interested in us building a brawl deck on stream and kind of playing it out, even if it wasn't optimal and it was just using the card pool we had available? Anybody else in chat that joins, feel free to let me know as well, or if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to give me a comment. I've not had a YouTube comment yet though, but I'm excited that I've gotten some views on YouTube. I just popped in and yeah, Brawl is cool. Right on. Well, I appreciate your feedback, Bix. So Bix, how did you come to find us? Was it just randomly on Twitch? You probably had to scroll quite a bit down to find me, but I appreciate you coming in and checking it out. What's your experience with Arena? Presumably you play if you're here watching me play, but not always. I watched other people play before I did. You sort by lowest viewers. I have started doing that, and I think that's a good thing to do. We down here at the bottom appreciate you, sir. Sir, ma'am, or person. I don't know, but we appreciate you either way. You love Arena, right on. What are you currently playing on Arena? Let's see. Spent way too much money on it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right now, we are trying to keep this free play, and we've been having fun with it. And I've explained a couple times, but the part of the fun for me in these types of games I do enjoy deck building, and because I enjoy deck building, I obviously really have a want to just get all the cards to make all the decks and that I want to, and that is part of the fun for me. But there's another part of games like this when they're structured like this with a free to play option that really just kind of tickles that part of my brain that gives me enjoyment out of the games like these. Something about starting with what they give you and kind of working your way up through the ranks um, is really something that I enjoy. So as of right now, it's a free to play stream. As of right now, I intend to keep it that way, but that could change in the future. But that's what we're doing right now. Currently, I'm playing Landless Citadel Magecraft in Ranked Historic. Okay, so I know what Bolus's Citadel is. What Magecraft cards do you use? Is it there is one Magecraft combo, correct? Is that what you mean by Magecraft? You're not just playing a whole bunch of spells off a Citadel because you want to like pump up the little dudes, right? You're playing the um, there's the Chain of Smog combo. Is that correct? Just to tell you how old I am, I played when Chain of Smog was actually a standard legal card. Back then we called it Type 2 though. But yeah. Best of one. The deck has a 71% win rate currently. That is quite impressive. 71 is no slouch when it comes to the win rate. So you're doing very well with it. You play it with Sedgemoor and Onyx and Witherbloom Apprentice. Okay, so those are the win cons, right? The Sedgemoor, I know what that is. The Witherbloom is the 2 mana one. Yep, and then Onyx. Got you. Okay, nice. Right on, right on. That sounds like a lot of fun. The decks like that, combo-y kind of decks that you know have such a high. It's so silly. Yeah, Bolus's Citadel does a lot of silly things to a lot of decks. Is kind of my impression of that card. Um, I remember when it first came out. I was not playing a lot at that time, but I believe I was working at a card shop at that time, and the things that it was doing in Vintage, as they were starting to discover what to do with it in Vintage, was pretty fun to watch unfold. I don't know if it still sees play in Vintage. I would assume that it still would as maybe a tinker target. But yeah, I don't know for sure. But I'm sure it does silly things in Historic. I honestly didn't even know it was in Historic. But I can imagine it's pretty nutty there. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and jump out of here and go ahead and start playing a standard event. So as usual, I'm not going to go into as much detail into the deck as we have in previous streams because I feel like it's there and it's out there. So if you're watching on Twitch and you're interested in more of the deck, then go ahead and find one of the VODs from one of the first couple days, and that'll probably have it there. I'm gonna try. I know that's asking a lot. Dig through my VODs to find the deck list. You're not doing that. I understand that. So bear with me. I am gonna go back and find a clip and make a highlight that is just the deck tech. So for right now, I guess don't go back through the VODs. Don't. I'm not asking you to do it because you're not going to. But bear with me, and I will have a highlight of the deck tech up. And then if you're watching on YouTube, same thing. I'll try and make a short video just doing the deck tech. Big asterisk with that win rate as that's out of only 7 games at Platinum 4. Okay, hey, well you can only start counting from when you start playing, right? So keep playing the way you're playing, and it'll just ride that 71 on up. Hey, maybe that's low. Maybe it should be in the 80s, but you've had some bad beats. I don't know. Okay, so here's the deck as we run it. The one thing I'll mention is that some of the cards are due to card availability in the fact that, as you can see, I do not currently have any more rares or mythic wild cards. I've got all the mythics in here. I want the only 4 mythics are the 4 Wrens, but the 2 old growth trolls is definitely the next thing that I am going to rectify with the deck. That should and will definitely be a 4. I am also deciding how many mammoths I want. I know I want at least these 2, and it's very possible I want all 4 of them. And the cards that I'm currently looking to replace to get those in the deck are the Florahedron, probably both Lotus Cobras, and then possibly the Inscription. However, I am starting to think that, once I put the additional Mammoth in here and take out the Lotus Cobras, I'm already at 28 lands, counting the Mammoth and the Florahedrons. So adding an additional Mammoth, I'd be at 29, I believe. I believe that's correct. 24, 25, 28, yeah. Um, and I think that might be on the high side. Obviously, the upside of the Mammoth is I can play it as a Mammoth and not a land, but I still think I could afford to keep the Inscription and just go down one of the snow-covered forests instead. So I think that's where I'm going with the deck. And, it's nice and clean. Got a lot of 4-ofs down at the bottom end. I'm not as, well, you know what? I'm starting to go into the deck tech, and I'm not going to do that. So that's where I'm at. These up here, they look like they may be concessions to the wild cards as well, but they're not. I have those in here because I like them. The Tovolar's Huntmasters are there for the very grindy mirror matches and Blood in the Snow matches and things like that. And the Unnatural Growth is to hopefully help me steal a game from Mono White. I have started to think that as much as I love the Huntmasters, one, I seem to misplay them more than any other card in the deck. So I kind of, even though I love them, I kind of want them out of there so I can actually, not have to post to YouTube the amount of times that I screw up this card. But also, I seem to already be very well equipped to play the mirror match, and giving myself additional unnatural growths to kind of sometimes steal games from Mono White is very, very appealing to me. So I might at some point replace some of the Huntmasters with additional unnatural growths. One game I lost on purpose, as I didn't want to keep playing if I couldn't kill the opponent on that turn, and the other I lost before settling on the final deck numbers. So, so did you have something to do, or you were just like, I just really don't like the look of this avatar that he's playing, and I can't stand to look at it for another turn. You see the list, and you want to pull out 10 Snow Forests for normal forests and not get shut down by Redain. Redain is an absolute beating, but I think Blizzard Brawl is important enough to the deck that you have to just take your beats when you see a Redain. And I will say, in the games I've seen recently with Mono White, because Mono White is fractured into kind of three subsections, at least it seems to me right now. There's the very, very low to the ground, like mage crafty kind of Mono White, and that does not seem to play Redain, or at least I haven't seen it out of it. And then there's the more traditional Mono White, which is what this deck seems to lose to all the time. And it's got Redain, and it's got the Elite Spellbinder, and you're just going to lose that matchup 9 times out of 10. And then there's the third kind of subcategory that runs the I've forgotten her name, the star 4 that has power equal to the number of creatures you play. Whenever you attack, you get a 1/1. That seems to be something that has kind of spawned its own little shoot or variant of Mono White, because they seem to be more interested in flooding the board with additional creatures than they do with playing the disruptive elements. And so it's kind of a hybrid of the two, and I think Mono Green is actually pretty good against that deck too. So as Mono White continues to kind of struggle with its identity, I think I'm seeing less and less Redain, and I think that's good for Mono Green. So I've been happy with that. But I definitely understand the sentiment. About a week ago, on one of the first one of these standard events that we did, we ended up 3-3 because we played Mono White 3 times, and I think we got Redained at least 2 of those times. And it does not feel good, and it feels like you can't win. So, so I definitely get the sentiment. Actually, you know what? Real quick, before we get started with our standard event, I am going to go refill my water. So I'm going to put you guys on pause, and I will see you in a moment. Okay, we're back. Let's see. Also, the land ramp from Rin gets shut down by Confounding Conundrum. Um, let's see. I'm going to look up Confounding Conundrum real quick because I'm not 100% sure I remember what that does. Oh, I can't search from here, can I? I actually have to go into a deck. When it comes into play, draw a card. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under opponent's control, if that player has another land enter the battlefield, that player... They return. Okay. Is this seen play in a deck? I have not seen this played against me yet. It could just be my inexperience with the decks of the format because, like I said, I am still pretty new to this. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely it would keep me at parity. It's a sleeper card. Okay, right on. I will say I am not as interested as I think some of the other people that play the mono green deck are in ramping into Rin, which is one of the reasons I'm taking out the Florahedrons. I don't run any of the 2-mana 2/2 untap a Snowland card. The Lotus Cobras are in there for now, but I plan on replacing them as well. I feel as though when you ramp, your next turn play might be more impactful than it could have been if you didn't ramp, but that turn's play is often not as impactful at all as what you could have played instead, and I feel as though the trade-off's not worth it in most matchups. People sleep on it even when I play it. People still try to ramp with it in play. Yeah, I can definitely see that. That's one of the things when you play a card that not everybody is used to and accustomed to playing against. They will definitely make misplays. I make misplays even when I'm used to playing against the cards. I can only imagine that I would do more of that if I didn't know what that card did. What was that back there? I had something else that was... Oh, okay, it's the midweek showcase, but we're already done with that. Okay. Alright, so off we go to game 1 of our new standard event. We're playing against Nevin. I don't like that the chat kind of starts off down here at the bottom and kind of floats up. I kind of wanted it to, start here and kind of track down. I wonder if there's a way I can switch that. I've had a few people try to fetch with it in play. Yeah, that seems like a bad proposition, doesn't it? Okay, what do we got here? We can go ahead and just play the Florahedron on 1. And this is what I'm talking about. Most of the time when I see a Florahedron, I just want to play it on 1. Even though I could ramp into a turn 3 Chariot, I'm more interested in just playing 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. We're just definitely keeping this, though. Okay, looking like the mirror. I love being on play in the mirror. I love my build with the 4 trackers in the mirror. But we can still easily lose this game. He's definitely going to have the ability to be the first to Blizzard Brawl since he's on the play, and he played a Snowland on turn 1 and 2, and I did not. Okay, he's also running trackers, so he can be just as grindy as me. I am going to trade here. I'm just interested in trading and getting into the long game in this type of matchup because I have Tovolar's Huntmaster, and presumably they do not. I will trade with this all day. I would love to ramp next turn, and I don't like that he has Chariot, obviously. Being the first one to Chariot is very good in this matchup. I still do think I like being on the play, but I like it a lot, or on the draw rather, but I do like it a lot less when they play a Chariot on turn 4. I think we have no choice but to play our own Chariot. So that's what we're going to do. If I had a Blizzard Brawl here, I would be much happier with life. But I don't. And now do we attack? And I don't think we do. I think we're on the back foot now. And I am interested in trading off as much material as possible. Because I don't know, he could have a Ranger's class in his top 3 cards, but I know I definitely have a Ranger's class in my hand. Or I said top 3 cards, in the cards in his hand. But I know I have one in my hand. And I'm interested in trading off as much as I can and then leveraging that to get ahead. That's kind of my plan right now. Splash white to run 4 disenchant main board. So with so much chariot and enchants in the meta right now, yeah, it's definitely, you can do it. If I had the mana base to do it, I might, but I guess I have the pathways. I don't have the new green white land, the slow lands. Okay, and it would cut into the snow as well. That would be the other issue. Who's getting in? Just chariot? Okay, I accept. So I'm interested in trading here with the troll, and then I can actually make the troll next turn, and then copy the troll token with the chariot. I'm pretty interested in that, I think. Now he could obviously blow this out with an Inscription of Abundance. There's white snowlands. Yeah, that's true. If I played just snow basics, white, just snow covered plains, or I played the green white snow duel that comes into play tapped, could totally do that. You're 100% right. Okay, drawing a Cobra. Does that do anything for us? I could play Cobra. I could play a land and have access to 5 mana. 1, 2. Yeah, but that really puts a cramp in my style of making the token here, doesn't it? If I make the token, I can still play a 3-drop. So in that way, I can tap the tracker to attack with the chariot. Yeah, I'm into that. I'm into that. I don't want to tap it like that, though. Got to pay attention to the auto tapper. There we go. Now that we've played the land, it figured it out for us. He's probably trading off his tracker for this. Also, if you're willing to hold up land, Cobra can be... Yeah, that's true. That's true. Given he's pretty incentivized to trade the chariot, I could attack here, but honestly, he might want to race me here. I'm just gonna hold off the cats to be blockers, or reactivate the chariot for the next turn, or on his turn. Well, I guess it'll be tapped, so it won't matter. So yeah, we'll just be blocking with these probably. I'm not interested in trading, obviously, but I would definitely trade cats for cats here. Like I said, just trying to trade off as much material as possible. He does have a man-land advantage right now. He also has a second chariot, and that's kind of bad for us. Oh my. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't block either. I definitely would have made that trade, but he's still giving me the business right now. Holy cow. Yeah, he has the chariot advantage, and he's going to be able to kill mine next turn. That's probably why I didn't block, because he probably knew he had the Liberator, and he figured the vigilance creature is very good in the matchup. Like here, I think I am blocking both cats into the vigilance creature, taking my beats on the 4/4. I don't want to give him a 4/4 token off of his chariot attacks. So let's see here. I think I'm just trying to be as aggressive as possible. I think I'm going to play both the Cobra and the Rangers class in order to be able to crew the chariot with things that aren't summoning sick, and I think I'm just getting in with everything. He is forced to block at least something. I anticipate he's going to just double block the chariot. He will still have plenty of material to activate his own chariot the next turn, but I think my only way to win this game is to race, so that's what we're going to do. So let's see. I think I will have time to pop my clue next turn. I think I'm interested in leveling up the Rangers class to be able to start pumping the trolls to 5/5s to trample over things. So I think we're definitely going to do that as well. All right, here we go. Okay, so he activated the chariot. I'm interested in that. Like, if he trades off the chariot this turn, I'm very happy. Like, just not getting any benefit other than the 2/2s. Oh, yeah. I would take this all day. Such weird attacks. Okay. Or weird blocks, rather. So he leaves me my vigilance creature. Yeah, okay. The Liberator doesn't have... I guess the Liberator's target is now the Ranger class, so that's fair. Trades off the Chariot because he wants to kill the class with the Liberator, so I'm not very interested in pumping the 4 mana into the Ranger's class. Second Tracker's very good for him. He is going to have to kill that this turn before I get another counter on one of my Tramplers. Yep. That's fine, that's fine. So we're pretty even right now. I'm not blocking this. Like, I'm not interested in giving him another creature. So yeah, no blocks, no blocks. We're ahead on the race right now. Oh, that was a good draw. That was a good draw, not gonna lie, not gonna lie. So I think we're interested in playing Rin before combat. It does give away a little bit of information, but well, I'm not swinging with the Cobra anyway, so maybe not. I guess I'm just swinging with the 3 big things. Let's see. But then they play a thing so they don't get the flip. Yeah. So what am I missing? It has to flip and then attack. It doesn't just kill the thing right when it flips. So he was interested in killing the Rangers class that turn, I think, so it didn't matter. Okay. I mean, you got to put the 3rd one in front of it. I can't kill the 3rd one, and then you kill the troll. You get... What? Okay. Yeah, I'd rather kill the 2/2 so that my 2/2 can start getting in. I'm confused by this block. This block, to me, I don't understand this. I would rather just chump the 3/3 and kill the 5/5 Trampler. I think this is a mistake by opponent. Yeah, I think opponent just is, you know, maybe he's newer. He's definitely not playing, you know. He didn't play that turn very well. We'll just say that. That's okay. We are doing what we can. We can only control what we do, and so we'll just keep trying to make the best plays we can, and we're looking pretty good. And there you go. Opponent agrees. So, yeah, so weird plays on the latter couple turns of that game, but either way, we're 1-0. Keeping on, keeping on. Oh, right. We said we were going to... I'm going to go back home just real quick. We said we were going to spin one of our events here. So let's do this white-blue, and we're not going to do that. Try and get a 750. We did not. And unfortunately, we will complete this today. So we will have completed a 500 instead of trying to spin it into a 750. But nothing we can do about that. We can't switch it again. Alright, let's see what we got this time. Linge. Remus, how are you tonight? Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you today. let's see. This looks fine. I have Cobra as soon as I hit one more land. Well, I'm not playing Cobra on turn 2 anyways, I don't think. We'll see. We'll see. If we hit into the land, we can play Cobra plus class on turn 3. That's probably the play. It's mono white. Okay. Okay, big chillin' right now. Big chillin', I hear you. That's the kind of chillin' to be doing. If you're gonna chill, do it big. They always have the Aspirant on 2. Always. I don't know the odds, but whatever it is, they get it. This thing's got first strike too, so he's just putting another counter there and swinging through. Yeah. Not going great. But then again, it goes not great as soon as they play a snow-covered plains, right? I thought for one brief moment they were going to play that Clarion Spirit and not play a third land, and we were still going to be in this game. And then they crushed my dreams with not only playing the land, but then not even playing a creature, just play the Portable Hole and get the 3/3 blocker out of there, so you can still spring with the Aspirant. That's brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. We're going to do what we can. That's all we can do. Next turn, we would be able to kick an Abundance. How good that is kind of depends on what our opponent does this turn. It might not be even nearly enough, and that seems like that's going to be the case. I can make nothing big enough to even kill a 5/5. So, yeah. That would be the game. Good 4 turns of a game, opponent. Fine work. And that's what that deck does. I mean, that deck honestly exists in the meta game because it feasts on mono green. And so we just give up some percentage points to it. That's every once in a while we steal a game. I think right now on Untapped.gg, it told me today, I think I still have a 50% win rate against mono white, which means the games that I lose just feel really bad, I think, because, you know, obviously if I could, you know, had a bad matchup and I said it was 50-50, well, that's like a best case scenario, right? That means all your other matchups are winning. If your bad matchup is still 50-50. So it's, once again, a very small sample size. It's probably much worse than that in reality, but yeah, right now it's sitting at around 50-50, and still it feels like the games you lose, they're just not even games of Magic. Now that's not to say I think the white deck is too good or even particularly good, but it is good against this deck, for sure. This hand's not great. My 2-drop is a Cobra, and I have nothing to really accelerate into. But we're going to play one of the Mammoths as a land, but we do have 2-drop, 3-drop reasonable play, you know, for 4 as long as we hit one additional snow land. So we are going to go ahead and keep. It is not the best hand, but it is also not the worst hand. Remus, have you been playing more of the ladder with the werewolves? If so, how's that going? Oh, by the way, you missed the games with the old sticky fingers. We played those earlier. We lost the first game we played to the Sorin deck. It just absolutely trounced us. And then we played the blue-green deck twice, and we beat it, and we got our 2 wins. Although I will say, the first game against blue-green, they had a turn 4 9/9 that should have killed us. I think they just screwed up. They ended up playing Oko and trying to copy their 9/9 when it was only a 9/9 because it counters. So the Oko was a 1/1, and it was summoning sick anyway, so it couldn't attack. I just don't think an opponent really fully thought it through, or they might have just misclicked. I don't know. But either way, I was pretty scared by 9/9 on turn 4. And they played the one enchantment that flipped into a land that gives a creature +X/+X equal to power and flying, and did not use that the next turn. Could have put me to like 2 or something like that. I don't know. But it was pretty scary. But we prevailed, and the next time the blue-green deck didn't do pretty much anything, kind of like you had said it might, and we took it down. So they foretold a card. We unfortunately have nothing to ramp into, so we are just going to play the Mammoth. I think we're going to play the Mammoth because we have at least one more land in hand, and it is going to swing for 5 next turn. The Vigilance isn't necessarily, the best thing in the world against this deck, assuming that it is the Epiphany deck. And it doesn't even matter if they're dragons or combo oriented, because obviously, all their dragons fly anyways, so Vigilance isn't good there either. Let's see, I'm definitely playing the land pre-combat to be able to attack with the Mammoth. That does mean, however, that I'm also going to be incentivized to play the Tracker pre-combat, and that does give away some information. But I don't think there's much to be done about that, because we are interested in not wasting mana, because with the mana from Cobra, we do have enough to pop the token end of turn. And although I wouldn't normally do that, because it gets the Tracker down to back to a 2/3, we do have another Tracker the next turn to produce an additional clue and get the Tracker back up on the turn it attacks. And this is all, predicated by, him not countering this right now. Or, honestly, he might be thinking about, do I counter this or do I divide by 0 the Mammoth? And I honestly think I would divide by 0 the Mammoth if I had a choice between those two things. He did not, though, so either he doesn't have, or he decided that the card advantage that I was going to gain off the Tracker was worth it to him to take some damage. Not sure which is the case, but it's just something to keep in the back of the mind and think about as we start trying to identify the cards that may be in opponent's hand going forward. We'll think back to this turn and say maybe he doesn't have a divide by 0, because I think he would have played that there. Okay, we drew another land, which means that we kind of have some interest in Unnatural Growth just kill you, right? That's probably not what's going on. He would probably either be able to bounce, kill a creature, or counter the Unnatural Growth. But he might just be banking on a reset button next turn with Burn Down the House, and we could just surprise get him here. So I think we're going to try it. Nope, not that card. This one. This card. If he is forced to counter this, it means we do get into 7, and we put him to 4. And there's also value in that too. So he's thinking. I think if he had a counter, he'd have snapped it off. So at this point, I think he is thinking about the best way to deal with it. Well, maybe he has a divide by 0, and he's thinking about, do I divide by 0 the Mammoth, or do I divide by 0 the Unnatural Growth? That would be a fair assumption too. So since he's thinking about this so long, again, it does kind of put divide by 0 back in the range that I think he might have. Okay, this has got to be divide by 0, or he's just trying to figure out how not to die. Okay, so there's the divide by 0. So very good. We figured it out, chat. We figured it out. Now where does that leave us? He still takes 4, goes to 7. Unfortunately, that means we will not be presenting lethal next turn. Okay, and he's just going to kill it with the 5-mana thing. That's a sorcery though. He's gonna have to spend his entire turn to kill the Unnatural Growth, if that's what he decides to do. I can't imagine he'll do it on the Cobra. That would be interesting. And he could just hold. He doesn't have to. If he kills the Cobra, there's no incentive to be in a hurry to kill the Unnatural Growth. Interesting. He's just going for it. All right, fair enough. Well, we're definitely playing the Mammoth again. The question is, he has not played a card draw spell the entire game. He could just naturally have a Burn Down the House, and then Swarm the board would obviously be terrible. But if he does not, I am interested in playing for lethal next turn through a removal spell. So I think I am playing both of these this turn, and then just hoping on the top of my deck plus the clue token if he wipes to get me across the finish line. So let's go ahead and play land, get our value off the Cobra. I say value very loosely because, as you can see, I have 6 mana here, so I could just as easily do this without the mana from the Cobra. I'm just going to waste my 1 mana, and, you know, it could either be 0 and I'd be happy to have used all my mana, it could be 2 to give me enough to crack the clue, but instead it's left me with a spare mana, and that's just what Cobra does sometimes. It's just annoying in that way sometimes, and that's why I really don't think it will be in the deck long term. You know, it's a high variance card. It can definitely have turns where it goes very hard. So he didn't sweep, and now he will no longer be able to sweep on 3 mana now that he's iterated. So he is just looking at trying to spot remove enough to stay alive, and I think that's probably going to get us there. He has to remove 2 things, because even if I don't hit a land drop next turn, and he can't do it. Even if I don't hit a land drop next turn and he kills the tracker, that's still 5. So, good game, opponent, good game. That Taco Cat. That Taco Cat, though. That hand, though. So, we have an interesting one. I do not like to keep hands with this deck that do not have a turn 2 play. Which is funny, because right now the deck's got 3 more turn 2 plays than it's going to have. So, that is something I'm also kind of loosely keeping an eye on. How many times is my 2-drop a Cobra that will not be in the deck anymore? And how many more mulligans would that be causing me? Yeah, it might be that I need to keep 1 or 2 Lotus Cobras in the deck for that reason. But, yeah, if Mono White wasn't a menace, we would just keep this and hope that the 2 trackers caught us up enough and that our curve, 3, 4, 5 was good enough, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I just don't think we can do that with Mono White floating around. So we are going to mulligan this, I think. It's very close, though. Especially with the Unnatural Growth being so good with the Zika's Chariot. Am I talking myself into this? No, I think I'm going to be disciplined here. This hand is worse, but I am going to keep it. It's got a 2-drop, right? I can't I can't complain that I got a 6-card hand with a 2-drop if that's the thing that I said I was mulliganing for. So we're going to keep. We put the man land back because I am interested in getting the Blizzard Brawl online. So I need the snow lands, and we obviously are not putting Chariot back. If we don't draw a 4th land, we're not winning anyways, and if we draw a 4th land, the Chariot is the best card that we have going. I think. Be right back. Okay, Remus. And it is Mono White again, so I'm glad I did not keep the hand with no 2-drop. Even though I'm not exactly happy with how this game is going so far. It's worth noting opponent also mulliganed. So I told you they always have the Aspirant on 2. Now this is one of those rare situations I am not going to trade, and the only reason for that is I have double Blizzard Brawl. So next turn I am just killing both his creatures and only attacking for 5, unfortunately. I wish that I could somehow get him up to 6 so I could draw a card, but that's just not in the cards today. So no blocks. We did draw the 4th land for the Chariot, so that is also good. We're killing that. And he's probably thinking, man, you didn't kill my Aspirant, da da da. And then the pain comes. Or maybe he just knew. Maybe he knew it was coming as soon as I killed the 1-mana play. He was like, oh, he's got a 2nd Brawl. Alright, so on turn 3 we have board presence and a higher life total than our Mono White opponent, so that's exciting. However, we now have less board presence and will be probably very behind in life very soon. Would I... Am I interested in attacking for 3 this turn? And I think the answer to that is no. Because there's no way I'm going to pump it. I would trade 2 for 1. If I knew that he would double block, I would trade 2 for 1. I would attack in and trade 2 for 1. However, I am not interested in trading 3 damages to my opponent for 3 damages to me. That is... I do need to turn the corner against mono white, but on this turn, I'm not interested in doing that. So I am not going to attack. I am going to get my 2 cats, and I am going to pass the turn. Big Sis, are you still playing Citadel Combo? Oh my gosh. That is a Skyclave. Okay. We're probably putting that on the Clarion Spirit. Yep. Very good, sir. If so, how are the games going? I'm interested to see if we've kept up our 70% win rate. He's thinking. Is he not going to attack? He might not. He might decide that keeping back my chariot is worth it to him. I mean, it's crazy. It gives me time, but I can't say it's definitely wrong. My annoyance says that the autopass doesn't autopass the priority, so I still need to get past the interactions on my opponent. Yeah, that was an annoyance for me when I first started Arena 2. I'm like, you know, I want to... oh, there's a keyboard shortcut for that, though. Give me a second. Let's see. So if you press Enter, then that's just like hitting the double arrow down here, right? But if you press Shift and Enter, it will pass the turn no matter what actions your opponent takes. I just found out about that the other day. I was looking for keyboard shortcuts, and I found that one. So maybe try that out. It's kind of like hitting, what is it, F5 or whatever on in Magic Online, where you just take no actions no matter what the opponent does. F6, I guess it's F6 on MTGO. Okay, so especially when the game is making me rope while trying to pass the priority. What are you playing against? Are you playing against another combo deck? I'm assuming that that is making that happen for you. So I'm definitely playing the troll. The question is, am I tapping the troll to create the chariot so I can still get in with the two cats? And I think the answer this time is yes, because my 4 damage would only be trading off for 1 of his damage on the way back because of the other creatures have flying. So I think that is what we're doing. Unfortunately, the troll has not died yet, so we can't make a 4/4. We do get a 2/2 though. And honestly, that means that the chaplain can't attack anyways. Okay, so we get a chumper. Fair enough. And that's something he can just replay next turn. So, but we are ahead right now. I think he might have to start thinking about holding things back. No, it's an issue with one of my other decks. It's a pile. It's a pile deck that takes forever to do stuff like search the deck. So I want to save as much of my rip time. Yeah, I definitely understand that. Wow, he decided that I was going to win next turn. He was probably right, but I still think holding back the 4/4 first striker, you know, I don't know. Depends on what else was in his hand, I guess. But I'm happy to win against mono white. Glad we took the mulligan. Definitely think we would have lost with the 7 card in hand. We were thinking about keeping to mono white. Hey, we got upgraded to a rare. That's exciting. Okay, what does this thing do? It's a dual face card, so we got to remember to look at the back. I don't even know if I can look at the back while we're in this screen. It might, as soon as I click on it, just get me out of here. But okay, discard a card. I can't even read it. There. Oh, I clicked on it after it popped out. Let's see. We're gonna go find out what that card does real quick. Okay, discard a card, create a 1/1 black creature. Okay, so create a pest. It's a pestilent cauldron, so it creates pests, like you wizard. I see what you did there, wizards. Each opponent mills cards equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. Okay. Exile 4 target cards from a single graveyard to draw a card. Well, okay. That does a lot of things. Return up to 2 target creature, land, and or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand. Each player gains 4 life, and exile this. This does a lot of things. I'm really tempted to play some historic best of 1 events. Do it, man. Get in there and do it. That's I mean, if you're at 70% playing on ladder in Platinum, you will definitely have over a 55% win rate in the events, I would have to imagine. And as long as the events for Historic are the same pay structure as the events for Standard, then it's actually about between 56 and 57% is the break-even point that you need to not be losing gold to play the events. So at that point, you're just kind of farming the cards you get for playing the events. But I still think it's better than playing on ladder because, I mean, you play ladder the entire season, you get, like 5 packs for being mythic? I'm going to definitely get 5 packs worth of cards from the uncommons I play in the events. So it's 4 wins. Oh, it's 4 wins to get to break-even point in gold, right. But sometimes you get more wins than that, and sometimes you get less wins than that. So I'm saying if you play enough events, on average, you need a 56% win rate to, on average, make your gold back over a long period of time. Now, yeah, if you're playing 1 event, it's just get to 4 wins, no matter no matter how you get there. But that's kind of how I like to think about it. But then again, I play a lot of these events, so I'm kind of in it for the long haul. Okay, so this does a lot of things, but I don't think it's particularly good at any of them. So, very good. Back to the games. Alright, what do we got? Remus, are you still with us? I was asking about your vampires deck earlier, and I think you stepped away, or maybe you're gone. I'm not sure. Oh, you said you'd be right back. Gotcha. Okay. I said vampires again, didn't I? God, I keep wanting both of us now to play vampires. Werewolves deck. This is fine. The 2-drop is Cobra, but if they don't kill it, I have a turn 3 Chariot, and if I draw into the land, turn 4 Rend, turn 5 Huntmaster. So we'll try and figure it out. We are gonna keep. Opponent mulligans at least once. Okay, stays on 6. We're definitely leading with the Mammoth. Okay, looking like a mirror match. Which is very good for the Lotus Cobra living. Okay, I accept. I'm very happy to be playing a Chariot into your pack leader. We did draw at least 1 more land, so we are going to Rend next turn. And then if we Huntmaster the turn after that, I think that's pretty much going to be all it takes. Hopefully they didn't see Be Right Back and go lay down and fall asleep. Actually, thing I've done when not planning to sleep on a particular night. Oh yeah, if you ever plan not to sleep for a particular night, whatever you do, don't even pretend like you're gonna just sit down and just close your eyes for a minute or just relax or anything like that. No. That's it's definitely happened to me as well, Bix. You always want to trick yourself into thinking that that's something you can do, and you just never can. Okay, so no attacks, obviously, because I would eat it with the Chariot. He is going to get to kill the Chariot, but I do get I get to trade in the Chariot for a Rend token, a tree folk token, and I did draw the land, so we will be getting our Huntmaster next turn, as long as there are no Blizzard Brawl shenanigans. But then again, I would be very excited if he spent a Blizzard Brawl on my Cobra, because presumably I have 5 lands even without the Cobra, and presumably I will draw at least one more throughout the game. Now the question is, do I crew with the token or the cats? And he is not interested in finding out. Okay. Just for the record, I would have crewed with the cats since they could not have profitably blocked or attacked into either of his creatures, and I'm just interested in having 2 5/5s back to block. Or I guess they were only 4/4s. They were only 4/4s back to block. I think that was a pretty premature scoop there. He was probably just pretty frustrated I ramped into Chariot into Rin. And I understand his frustration. That can definitely be a hard draw to seem to play through, which is, I don't know, I find myself second guessing sometimes. You know, that seems so good and opponents seem to be very poorly equipped to play against it, and yet I seem to be taking all the things out of the deck that allow me to do that with any regularity. So I don't know, I could totally be building the deck entirely wrong, but how I want to play it, that's not what I want to be doing, at least not nearly as often as I think some of the decks are set up to try and do it. I've before actually got back up after lying down before it was at like 3 a.m. I knew I was wide awake and wanted to lie down, so I could just say I tried to sleep. That's fair. This hand is not great. We have a 2-drop. That is my first requirement, and they have given us that. Unfortunately, not doing anything else until turn 5 is not going to cut it. And even if one of those turns is taken up inscribing, I still don't think that is going to do it. Our opponent kept 7. We are going to mulligan. We are going to mulligan again down to 5 because this hand is not going to work. Yeah, it's easy mulligan to 5. And this is an easy keep. We put back our 2 redundant chariots. We hope to draw a 3-drop, and yeah. Our chances aren't great to win with a 5-card hand, but I think our chances with this 5-card hand are better than with either of our 7 or 6-card hands. I am not happy to see mono white, obviously. However, I will say that if they get a good draw, I was going to lose to mono white even on 7. So, you know, if you think about it like that, going down to 5 really didn't punish me all that much. So I would rather have the game that I'm mulligan down to 5 be against an opponent that I probably would have lost to on 7. So, my self-imposed rule is if I'm wide awake at 4 a.m., I'm allowed to give up on sleep. Well, you sound like a much younger person than I am, because I would never be up at 4. And if I was, I would certainly be, you know, it would be because I couldn't go to sleep for some reason, not because I just didn't want to. I would be begging whatever I was doing to let me go to sleep. Let's see, what are we doing here? We are just dead. That's what we're doing. We're dead. We're going to play the Haven. My birthday was earlier this week. I'm 30. Well, happy birthday. Congratulations, Bix. Welcome to your 30s. I just had a birthday not too long ago, and I am now in my 40s. So, I've got you by a decade. So I expect to hear back from you in 10 years if you're still staying up till 4 a.m. So be sure to follow and hang out for the next 10 years and report back. Okay, I'm at 2, and he's killed both the creatures that I've played. So I think we're just going to tell our opponent good game and move on to the next one. Okay, so we're X and 2. I think we're 4 and 2. We're definitely at least 3 and 2. No, we're 4 and 2. Okay, so our backs are up against the wall. We'll see if we can rattle off 3 in a row to close out on 7. But if not, like Brick said, we have hit our 4 wins, so we've at least broken even on the event. and we'll get some cardboard, some digital cardboard. Inscription doesn't really count as a 2-drop. I think I think Arena might just be trolling me at this point. We are gonna mulligan again. Okay. It said if you weren't happy with Inscription as your 2-drop, you just don't get one. I honestly think that we have to keep this at this point. And I think I'm going to have to put the Blizzard Brawl back. What I think I'm going to do is just assume that if this is mono white, I am going to go out at a 4-3 record. I'm going to hope this is a matchup where Blizzard Brawl is not at its best. I do not think I'm going to play the Mammoth as a land. I'm going to hope to just draw one more, and I'll have 3 threats that I'm going to try and close out this game with. Let's see. I did just a bit ago have the first actual loss with the deck. It was a loss because all my combo pieces were too far down. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, sometimes you just, that's the kind of safety valve that combo decks have, right? Oh, look, I drew a 2-drop. I think Arena is mocking me. I think that is what is happening. But yeah, sometimes with combo decks, that's just that's the way it is. Now, I don't know what kind of filtering the deck runs, or what kind of, if you're in black, I don't know what kind of tutors are available in the historic format. But even with all that, there is just some subset of games in which you will never never draw one of the pieces you need. Ew, tutors. Okay, so we're morally opposed to tutors. Got it. Won't bring that up again. Is that just because all the tutors in historic are bad, or I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, we are going to play the tracker so that we can, if we feel like it, play the Mammoth tap next turn and just pop the clue, perhaps. Because especially now that we have a backup chariot, we're very incentivized to play a chariot, either have it countered or die, and then play another chariot. Did not get there, but we got another Mammoth that we could play and then still play a tap land. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and attack. Sure. Now watch this. I'm going to play the same one as a land. And he's not going to know we have the other one. Ha ha ha. We got him. We got him. When the deck is so heavily needed to gain life, to be able to pay life as Citadel, wasting life to tutor seems like a waste of life. Okay. So the tutors in historic mostly cost life. I'm unfamiliar. Or do you just mean that paying life for them when you cast them off of the Citadel? That probably makes more sense. Yeah, that's fair enough. Let's see. What's the play here? What did he do? He environmental science. He needed the land? No, he didn't play the land. Interesting. Okay. Maybe he needed the 5th drop so he could burn down the house next turn. Citadel pay life to cast him from the deck. Okay, yep, gotcha. So we're going to play the land first so we can play around a Jawari Disruption. We're going to attack, I guess, and then play the chariot. So if he was hoping to counter this with a Jawari... Oh, he has a Saw It Coming suspended. That's right, that's right. Well, that's okay. We have the 2nd chariot. Getting a little bit concerned about this game. I don't know if we're going to cross the line. Okay, so here's the Dragons variant. Interesting. That gives us more hope. So next turn we could just kick an Inscription and hope that he can't do anything about that with his 4 mana, because he will get another treasure token. maybe it's better just to develop our board. But it doesn't get any better if I'm trying to kill the dragon. It doesn't get any better for me if he untaps. So I think I am pretty interested in just trying this inscription here. Let's see. Okay, I mean, it's a 2-for-1, but what are you gonna do? I still get to gain the life. I guess that... No, I don't, because that's my only creature in play. So it is a true 2-for-1. Okay, well, probably not winning this game at this point, but I think it was my best chance at trying to win the game. Because if he untaps, I'm never, you know... I mean, he's still got the same amount of treasure tokens plus all his mana for the turn. I'm never getting a better spot to fire off that inscription. I could maybe work in a few Wishclaw Talisman. That is not bad to only pay 2 life. Yeah, I agree. Wishclaw Talisman, I think, is a good card for that deck. I would assume. That style of card. Because once you tutor one card to your hand, you know, you should be winning in those style decks, right? So even giving them the Wishclaw Talisman doesn't really matter. Okay. Scheming Symmetry. Oh, now that's good because it's got symmetry because it puts it, or synergy. It's got synergy because it puts it on the top of the deck where you could then play it off Bolas of Citadel. That's smart. I like that. All right, good game, opponent. You got me. Okay. So we finished this one out at 4-3. Not the best record in the world, but like I said, I'm happy to just kind of tread water and not lose money, and that'll kind of tide us over until the next time we peel off 7 wins and get our bonus gold. Alright, let's go ahead and claim our prize, see if we get anything good. We don't get upgraded at all, so get 3 uncommons. Got a new one here, Lorville. Okay, there we go. It's interesting. Exile a creature card from your graveyard for, is that 5 mana or 3 mana? That's 5 mana, good god. But it doesn't sacrifice, so it's just a late game, like if you're milling cards, you eventually... I don't know. Does this CD play in anything? Anybody know? I can't imagine that it does. It seems very, very slow and grindy, and that just doesn't seem like something that Type 2 is about right now. Okay. So, guys, I think I am going to call this stream for the night. It's 12:30. It's a natural stopping point. I don't think that I'm gonna start another event tonight. I think we'll just start fresh with the new event tomorrow. It's unfortunate. I see we just picked up a 3rd viewer. So, welcome, viewer. You're just in time for us to leave. Unfortunately, I try to be on most nights, so please come back and hang out with us tomorrow, perhaps, and play some Standard with us. But for tonight, I'm going to go ahead and get off. I am going to try something new, though. I'm interested in trying to find somebody to raid. I've not tried that yet, and I would like to try it tonight. So if you guys want to hang out for a minute, I'm going to put my my thank you screen up. But don't leave quite yet. I'm going to try and go find somebody to raid and see if I can make that happen. I'm reasonably sure I know how to do it, but I'm not 100% sure. So bear with me. But thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Remus, it's nice to have you here as always. Bix, thank you for being here as well and being so active in the chat. I appreciate you and being here and hanging out with me today. And thank you for the follow. I appreciate that as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put you on the thank you screen. I'm going to just say goodbye now. And like I said, just hang on for a minute and bear with me. I'm going to try and find somebody to raid.
just gain life and got some stupid creatures. Like, you're really gonna do that?
Right on, Stolen. Almost done. That's good. This is a raid. Stop resisting. I didn't mean to resist. My fault. I didn't think I was, but my bad. How are you guys doing tonight? Shout out for Auto Picks. Thank you for that raid. Hope you had a good stream. Good. I'm glad to hear it, Bix. I don't know if you guys came from a magic type stream or if you did not, but I'm relatively new to the game here just this week, so still kind of getting the feel for all of it. So yeah, that's good. I'm playing some Magic: The Gathering Arena at the moment. Earlier tonight I was playing oh hell, what's that new game? Well, I don't know how new it is, but it's in beta right now. What's it called? Let me bring up my Steam. The Cycle Frontier. I was playing some of the Cycle Frontier earlier. I'm a fan of it. I enjoy it. I've been putting quite a bit of time into it since I started. You stumbled across a really silly deck? Yeah, there's some crazy ones out there. I don't know much about it yet, but so Cycle, it's a first-person shooter, but it's kind of different. It's kind of hard to explain how, like, you go out, like, so you've got like the main area where you buy your stuff and whatever. It's kind of like Tarkov, where whatever you have with you when you die, you lose. So you drop in, you try to, raid or whatever, get your stuff, and then you try to get out. If you don't get out, you lose everything you brought with you and everything you found. But it's a first-person shooter. It's kind of fun. I mean, like I said, I just started playing it tonight. I only played it for about an hour and a half, so I don't have a great grasp of it. But it's free to play, and it's in beta right now. So you'd have to go on Steam, put it in your wish list, and then request access. And in a day or two, they should send you an email saying, hey, your access has been granted or approved or whatever. What were you playing tonight? Oh. Usually I have my green screen up too, just But I put it down because it's getting dark. I suppose I could put it back up. Oh, my filter's not set. There we go. That's better. It's not an invite only per se. I don't think. It's just that I think that their beta's fairly full. So I mean, I applied to do it or whatever, and that it was like a day or two, and they just sent me a come on in. Mono green standard on arena. Oh, right on. I do like mine, yeah, I like it a lot. So I have a retractable one, so it just goes down, and then kind of like those screens you'd use in school or whatever. What is this? What's this guy doing? I'm not paying any attention. Doesn't look good, that doesn't. Copy it. You may cast the copy. Okay, well. Well, I think this guy's gonna beat me. Who even plays Demolish? I don't know, I've never even seen the card before. So I was looking at it like, what the hell is this? Oh, well, we're not wasting any time here, are we? Let's see. These are both 1-3s. You're a 3-3. Block one of them. You're gonna block him. And, well, then we're gonna lose, because I can't do anything about the other ones, so. Oh, wait, that's not a flyer. Success. Oh, and I got my Enduring Angel. Hell yeah. I love this card. As long as he doesn't destroy it before he attacks me again, I have a good time. Yeah, this angel's, if I can get my life gain going, so I had one game where this angel alone became a 151, and my game winnings sweep or whatever put me at, it was a 324 life to like negative 160. It was it was intense, but it was sweet. Yeah, when it happened, like, this guy and I we both had life build decks, and we were just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it looked like he was going to win. But I didn't really understand how Enduring Angel worked. And then, like, he did a big swing at me. I thought I lost, but she saved me, put me back at 3 life, and she was a 3-3. But then I had about 26 creatures on the board, and he had about 20 creatures on the board. So, at that time when that happened, it was, it was epic. He swung with everything. I thought I lost. And then when I swung back, like I said, she turned into 151, and it was just nuts. And that's game. Should put another one of that Enduring Angel in this deck. Hello, buddy. I'll take you outside soon. I promise. Hey, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate that. Oh, since you guys are only just here, I'll do one more match, but... Oh yeah, you're heading to bed too? Perfect, because I'm just about to myself, so I'll play one more match, and then I'm going to bed too. But thanks for stopping in, appreciate the follow. And the raid, of course.